Boom!
Boom.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. This is the first stream, I believe, of July, right?
Of July,
Yeah.
officially more than halfway done with 2023.
Yeah, it's July 5th, 2023, 8:02 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, a little after 8 o'clock. And we're just, it's another FOS Live, Fans of Something Live. This is episode 24. And we have Mr. Dell on movies. Dell himself is joining us tonight. He's our special guest for the 24th episode. We're going to be bringing him in here in a second. But of course, we like to just, let some people roll on in and get the excitement train rolling here. I know there's some other stuff going on as well tonight. So we're going to try to keep the episode a little tighter. Just, because that's...
It's like Wednesday. Like, what's everybody doing on a Wednesday?
Well, it's the hump day, I feel like, right? It's the hump day. You want to kind of, have
Start winding down for the weekend.
But I feel like that's why a lot of stuff happens on Wednesday, right? It's like you made it to the middle of the week, so let's reward you with some content, and then we'll give you some stuff on Friday. I don't know about Thursday. Thursdays, I feel like,
who does anything on a Thursday?
Yeah, we got to maybe do some stuff on Thursdays. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But how's everybody doing? How was everybody's 4th of July? Did we all have a good 4th of July?
Not everybody celebrates because not everybody's in the States.
This is true, yes. But if you are in the States, what did you do? Did you have fun?
I think like Canada Day happened.
Canada Day, yep. Our good bud Dave McCrae up there in Toronto. Which he'll be on the channel, by the way. Speaking of that, he'll be coming back on sometime in this month. So looking forward to that. But yeah, it was kind of calm for us yesterday. We didn't really do much. I worked all day, quite literally.
I was with Felix.
So you were with Felix. Felix is right now taking a nap, so that's fine. And yeah, it's just but yesterday was very cool because the Jaws 2 4K came out. And picked up the Steelbook. We watched it last night. We're not going to spoil anything. We want to save that for the end of the month. But yeah, it was fun to revisit. I had already seen Jaws 2.
I have not, because I'm not a sequel person.
Not seen Jaws. Well, because you didn't like Jaws for the longest time.
Yeah, that was like my hot take. Like, what's your most controversial movie opinion? Mine was that I hated Jaws.
Hated Jaws.
And then I saw it in IMAX, and the rest is history.
Yeah, took her to IMAX. It's on the channel. There's 2 videos. And she came out a changed woman. And she loves Jaws. So I figured let's check out Jaws 2. Maybe we'll get into 3 and 4. I don't know about 4, but 3 is interesting. 3 is interesting. I'm curious. We'll talk a little Jaws here with Dell in a second. I'm curious to see what he thinks about the franchise. But yeah, that's kind of like just a quick update here. We got some videos coming up on the channel as well. So keep your eyes peeled to make sure you got the dinner bell turned on so you know when the kitchen's cooking. And let's see who's joining us tonight, and then we're going to bring in Dell. Let's do this right here at the very top.
Whoa.
We got Tony Basement Blues in here, number 1. Wow, he beat Adrian James.
That's crazy.
That's pretty wild. What's going on, Tony? Kevin, what's going on, Kevin? We also got Nadia. Hello, Nadia.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
Main players.
Yeah. Boom. What's going on, Laren? Holland Oates. Hello. What's going on?
Hello,
Special
hello.
guest Dell. Yep. And speaking of Dell, here is Dell. Hey, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Absolutely. Yeah. Seriously. Thank you for hanging out with us because I know that there's some stuff that you could be distracted by. So thank you for being distracted by us. Saying hey to everybody. We got Luke Ponto. What's going on,
Hello.
Luke? Always changing the avatars. I love it. I think that's the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie that's coming out here. Very cool. Very cool. And everybody's saying hey to everybody. So we'll let all the highs get taken up here and we'll focus on bringing in our 24th guest here on Fans of Something Live. It's crazy to think that we're getting very close to the 25th episode.
Quarter of 100.
Yep. And it's crazy to think because if you go all the way back to FOS Live number 1, that
was a sad episode.
That's when we didn't have a chat going, so that was really sad. But 2, it was like Funko. It was like Funko-y people, like because that's who we thought we were gonna,
that was gonna be our niche.
Hence the Funko shirt, but we still are at heart. But we thought we were gonna be a Funko-centric channel, and so we had a Funko channel that came on for that first episode.
And I bet you haven't spoken to that person.
I have not spoken to that person, but our third guest, Boogie Woogie.
Oh.
Yeah, definitely for sure. But yeah, it's just cool to see the evolution. So
What
here we
about our
are.
second guess?
That was Dave.
I know.
That was Dave.
I know.
But it's cool to see the evolution. And now we're here at number 24. Obviously, I've seen Dell on a bunch of other people's live shows. That's what got my attention. Then checked out his channel. Love to see his movie swaps. That's his. That's sort of his thing. So that's really cool to see him kind of taking off with that. You know, KB has the conversation, Dell has the movie swap. It's just cool to see how you find your niche. So it's very cool that way. And let's bring him in. You know what? Because why are we still talking?
Let's do it live.
Let's do it live. So we're going to hold on. We're going to switch this around. Make sure we got the right background going here. There we go. Right background. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is Dell on Movies.
What's up, guys?
What's going on, sir?
Nothing much. Happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. It was just a matter of time. Because
I remember you keep saying, "Gotta have you on. Gotta have you on."
There's just
here.
It's just an ever-growing list of people that I have to have on. So
I'm telling you,
that's what it is. And I assume it's the same with you when it comes to the movie swaps.
It is because you are on that list. I'm getting there, guys.
No. It's not a plug for us, but I assume that you have just like an endless, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of people that you want to get on.
Yeah.
How do you so speaking of the movie swaps, do you record those? Like,
no, they're done live.
Okay. Because I noticed that like sometimes you can do a live recording, quote unquote, in StreamYard, but it's like pre-recorded.
Right. No, these are all live. You know,
Okay.
we'll take breaks and interact with the chat while, you know, from the movies that we're talking about. And sometimes the chat's talking about the movies we are. Sometimes they're not. They're throwing other questions out there. So, you know, we just make it all work.
Yeah, I love it. And you want to stick with that, right? You want to stick with the live aspect. You kind of like the live aspect versus a pre-recorded.
Yeah. I like that better. I love the interaction, not only with the guests, because, you know, you get to hang out with a guest who's just going to talk movies with you for an hour and a half. And then you get the chat chiming in on the conversation. So I really do enjoy that. There, you know, and I apologize if I froze up there, but if my guest requires it, I may do a pre-recording, but otherwise it'll be live.
Sweet. I love it. No, it's cool. So in case anyone doesn't understand what the movie swap is coming across you for the first time, first and foremost, the link to Dell's channel's down below. Check him out. See if he's to your liking, to your tastes. And if so, give him a sub. But the movie swap is a really cool thing because I assume you reach out to the person and you figure out a movie that they haven't seen. And then you say, okay, well, go watch that movie. Now give me a movie that I haven't seen. I'll watch that movie. And then the whole live show is basically you swapping what your review is of the movie. Am I doing the justice to the movie swap?
Pretty much. So yeah, I'll basically the way that part works is I'll reach out to somebody and I'll send them a list of movies and I'll say, okay, pick something from this list that you've never seen before and send me a list of movies. And I'll do the same thing. I'll pick something from your list that I've never seen before. And then, yeah, we'll just kind of discuss it. We'll bat it back and forth. You know, what'd you think of this part? What'd you think of that part? Kind of like you would do if you guys went to a movie with a couple of friends and then after the movie, you guys went to a restaurant and just started talking about the movie. So kind of like that's the idea of it. And
so what's your criteria for picking those films? Is it like things that really stood out to you? Like, is it something that's particularly good, maybe particularly bad? Like,
it's usually something that you love, meaning the person who's asking the other person to pick. So out of my list, I'm going to give you 10 movies that I really like. And then you would do the same for me because these are movies that you would recommend if someone says, hey, you know, what's a good movie? What's something I should watch? And that's how you decide, or that's how you decide on what list to give me.
Now, somebody has to have sent you a list of 10 movies that you've seen them all, right?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet. About 3 times I've seen 9 of the 10, but there was always one that I haven't seen. So, and I think 10's a good number for that. I mean, it might happen at some point, but I think 10's a good number because we're talking to movie collectors and movie buffs. So, there's always going to be something that you've seen that they haven't seen. So far, so good on that point.
Well, I also imagine like that you don't like pick super popular movies like Pulp Fiction or Shawshank, like stuff like that.
But it depends. It depends on what the person hasn't seen. I had Tony on. He's in the chat. I had Tony Basement Blues on. He had never seen Scarface.
Okay.
So we watched. So we watched Scarface, and we talked about that movie. Bob had never seen Do the Right Thing. It's been a few bigger movies, but yeah, sometimes it's something that's not super big, but it's usually pretty popular. Every now and again, we go something obscure, but we try not to do too much of that because then other people might not have seen it either, and it's not as good a conversation.
Right.
Since it's July, are you doing anything specifically dedicated to the Criterion titles?
Not as far as Movie Swap goes.
Okay.
That's a good idea. That may be next July. So I did pick up a couple titles so far, but yeah, nothing as far as Movie Swap goes.
Yeah, like the 10 movies that you suggest each per, back and forth has to be Criterion picks.
That's a good one.
I mean, that'd be kind of.
So if I steal that idea for next July, don't sue me.
No, absolutely not. No, that's just the way. Because it's in full swing right now. Have you? You did a video, right, of your of your stuff. Yeah. How's your Barnes and Noble looking, by the way?
It is not as good as it was, but they still do have Criterion. It's for the one that's I have two near me actually. One about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and one about 20 minutes.
Okay.
The one that's closer is it's got one of those floor to ceiling shelves, close to the ceiling anyway, and takes up most of a wall that says Criterion Collection, and it used to be completely filled, and now the bottom row and the top row are empty, completely empty. And then the rest of the spots where they stick the movies in, they're less full than they used to be. So there's less copies of movies also.
I remember ours, we had like a whole,
it was one of those really
shelf, like the long ones.
Yeah, but it was like one of those dedicated sections of a Barnes and Noble,
Exactly.
where you had to walk through the metal detectors and stuff.
Yeah. We still have that. It's still back there in mine. It's just that it's a lot more vinyl back there now than it used to be.
Oh man.
Yeah, now ours is just like, it's not even its own shelf. It's like
half
2
of
rows.
A shelf. It's half of a shelf.
It's like if a shelf has like 8 rows or something.
It's 4.
No, not even. Like 3.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's how the further one is. It's kind of like that. It's a really long shelf, but it's only half of its Criterion, whereas the other half is just regular titles.
Yeah, I wonder what because people have those, right? They have the filled ones, and now we have ours, which is 2 shelves. I wonder what I should get someone from Barnes and Noble on here. Be like, what's the
deal?
How do you decide? Is it the best selling stores keep it versus stores that might not be selling it too much? Let's cut back. Or is it just sort of it's going to happen to every Barnes and Noble at some point kind of thing?
It feels like at some point it's going to happen. And I don't know about you guys' store, but another thing people aren't really talking about is there's also a lot less Arrow titles. And last year, Barnes and Noble was kind of big on Arrow last year. And this year there's hardly any, at least in mine. There's not that many at all. And so that's also a shame because I can pick up some titles from Arrow, in person rather than order them, but no can do this year. At least not as much.
Yep.
Yeah. I know, especially with our Criterion, it's really only the newer titles. So it's like if I wanted to pick up something
brand new, you'll find it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like that Thelma and Louise is there.
Yeah.
But, stuff I would look through and I'd go, oh, I haven't heard of that one before, flipping through. You can't do that anymore.
Can't really do that, yeah. So the newer ones and the more popular ones, the most popular ones. So you definitely have Citizen Kane and and all the Hitchcock and all the Seven Samurai, all the Kurosawa stuff. Because those are more popular, but the older titles not as popular. Just not there.
Yeah, that's a shame. Because I'm a big Criterion person, and it's that's where we used to beeline to, and it's just
it kind of ruins traditions. It's like the the like, okay, let's go to the mall because it's attached to a mall. So we'll go to GameStop, we'll go to Hot Topic, we'll save Barnes and Noble for last because that has the big movie section. Now it's can't even.
Yeah, one of mine is attached to a mall, and another one is a standalone building.
Okay, yeah. Now do you have a store called Second and Charles?
I don't. I've been seeing people. I see people all the time doing hauls from there, but no, I don't have one anywhere near me.
Oh, they're cool.
Where are you from?
I'm in North Carolina. I'm actually from New York, but I've been living in North Carolina for a really long time.
Okay, so you're like kind of right up the road from because we're in Georgia. So I know that I know there's a bunch in Georgia. Is that where it stops? It doesn't go to.
No, it goes.
I'm surprised there's not one in North Carolina.
There might be actually, because I feel like I've maybe not directly close. Maybe might be a bit of a road
drive,
trip.
But
yeah, if there is, it's quite a ways away because I've not seen one anywhere near me.
I would say I mean, they're not going to have, you might have the one or two random criterions, but just in terms of general movie, just like to go into a store and see rows and rows and rows of movies. That's sort of our last thing, that FYE, but Second and Charles is a really cool find.
Closest thing I have like that is a place called Ed McKay's Books. It's a used bookstore, but they do have quite a sizable physical media selection. And so I'll go there, and that's about an hour away from me.
She found one.
There's 4 in North Carolina.
Okay, let me know where.
There's Matthews.
Okay.
Fayetteville.
I know that. That's probably about an hour and a half from me.
Charlotte.
That's about 3 hours from me.
And Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, I think that's on the coast, so that's probably another 2.5, 3 hours too.
So it sounds like maybe the closest one is either Matthews or Fayetteville.
Yeah, either Matthews or Fayetteville.
Oh, there you go.
I'm gonna look that up while we're talking.
Little road trip.
That'd be pretty cool because I'm telling you, I had no clue that like I had heard they buy stuff, but man, we walked in that first time and I was just kid in a candy store kind of feel because they have movies, vinyl. Basically everything, like a super giant FYE kind of.
Yeah, that's how this other place is, Ed McKay's. You walk in, they've got all sorts of collectibles. They got the movies, they got books, and then they have board games. They got old toys, they have toys, they have posters, and they have statues. They have all sorts of stuff in there.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's great because they're sister companies with Books A Million. So
yeah,
they have. Like half their inventory is what you would see in a Books A Million, the new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like the newer books, some new movies, or like little knickknacks, tchotchkes, stuff like that. But then the other half is the trade-ins. That's what makes each one unique. So like you can go to the 2 different ones, like in the Fayetteville or Matthews, and they'd both be different in what they would get because of all the trade-ins.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot like this other places, all the trade-in. There's no Books A Million anywhere near me either. I saw it in Myrtle Beach. I was in Myrtle Beach last weekend. I saw one there, and I looked it up. It's about an hour away from me. The Second and Charles in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
There you go. That's not too bad.
That's not too bad. Hour and 24 minutes according to Google Maps. Shout out to Google Maps.
Not sponsored,
but
not sponsored, exactly.
Yeah, let me know if you ever hit it up. I'm curious to see what the inside looks like. Take a couple pictures, just because.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
Only been to Jacksonville, Florida. Jacksonville, Florida is one. But let's see who else is joining us here tonight. Donna Calise. Donna, hello, Donna.
Hello,
hey, Donna.
What else? Everybody's still saying hey. Tony, what's going on, Tony?
What's up, Tony?
And Mizzy, of course, Mizzy. What's going on, Mizzy? I love this comment. Meatloaf Tony. We're still keeping the meatloaf strong. Keeping the meatloaf
Tony's
strong.
meatloaf and more.
Can't let that die.
No way.
Donna loves Basement Blues Tony channel.
Who doesn't? Everybody loves Tony's channel.
Yeah, Tony's good. We've had him on, right? FOS Live. Yeah, we have. Yeah, we have. Let's see here. Okay, and then here he is commenting. Scarface was great. Now, of course, you're talking about Al Pacino. You're not talking about Boris Karloff, right?
Right. We're talking Al Pacino. Though the other one is good too. Have you ever seen that one? The one from
I
the
don't think-
30s.
I don't think either of us have seen either of these movies.
No.
Okay, and
Wow.
that was not actually Boris Karloff. It was I can't think of the actor's name now, but it was one from the 30s, the original Scarface. That was actually good.
So wait, so the one with Boris wasn't even, or is that just like a totally different movie called Scarface?
I'm not sure which movie you're talking about with Karloff.
I'm pretty sure there's a Boris Karloff movie called Scarface, which might not have any association to that particular story.
Okay.
Are you fact checking?
I'm looking up the one that I'm talking about to make sure that I know what I'm talking about. So,
Chat room, let us know. Also, let us know.
Are we off our marbles?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I swear there's a Karloff movie called Scarface.
I also feel like I'm off my marbles right now. Side note, because I feel like I hear a buzzing, and I thought it was one of our phones, but they're right here and not making any noise. So either Felix is snoring really loud, or I'm going insane.
Let's see. Go ahead. I'll let you know what I find.
Yeah, you're good. Basement says, I was surprised how much Criterion was removed from the store near me. They shrunk it.
Sad.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's really
but that's I was actually in there today because I finally was like, all right, I'm gonna go in right before I picked you up from work. I was like, I'm gonna go in. I'm just gonna see. I highly doubt they're gonna have anything. They didn't really have anything, but as I was browsing, I overheard somebody saying something along the lines of, and it applies to us too, but I think they were talking about mangas, and they were like, I don't buy physical mangas. I have them all on my thing. Like the Nook or something. They were
a lot of comic books, regular comic books are like that too now. They don't buy them as much.
That's what it is. And so like that comment right there, I was like, ugh.
Yeah,
I don't buy physical. That's what they said. I don't buy physical.
Gotcha.
On the Scarface front, Karloff was in the Scarface. He wasn't the main character. That's what I was thinking was the main character, but he was in it.
Gotcha. Okay, so we're thinking of the same movie, and who was the guy you were thinking of?
Paul Muni. Paul Muni, I think that's how you say it. Muni. He was the lead character,
and that is the original Scarface, and then the Pacino version is a remake of that one.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool. Yep. It's wild. It's wild, Tony. Full of vinyl.
Yeah, there is a lot of vinyl.
A lot of vinyl's coming back.
And it's funny because I love vinyl, but I refuse to buy new vinyl. So if they took trade-ins and it was like secondhand, I would give them vinyl business. But I'm not.
And then, of course, Laren here, because I remember, Laren, you were talking about how your Barnes & Noble expanded in one of Daisuke Beppu's live streams. He says, my Barnes & Noble does good sales, so they expanded. It's awesome.
You know what's funny is when I was at the register checking out at Barnes & Noble, the guy behind the register, he's like, man, it's everybody's favorite time of year. Well, why are there less movies here?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, who's the head of Barnes & Noble? Who's the CEO? Someone needs to send them a DM.
I just want to talk.
God, seriously. But then as I was heading out today, someone was on, one of the associates was on the phone, and they were like, yeah, so it looks like we have the Blu-ray and something called 4K. So I was kind of laughed to myself.
Was it like an older person?
It was it was like an older lady.
Oh.
Okay, she belonged at working at a library.
Oh.
Eddie's Films and Stuff. What's going on? Good old Eddie. Speaking of Criterion, he's one of the admirers of the Criterion collection. Yeah, dude, it's wild. So and also because he also got the Jaws 2 Steelbook. So let's talk a little bit about the Jaws franchise while we have you here, since that's a hot topic right now. We just had the 4th of July. Jaws is kind of closely associated to the 4th of July. Did you pick up the Steelbook first of all?
I did not. I'm struggling whether I'm going to do it or not, because I've got a one of those Blu-rays that has Jaws 2, 3, and 4 on it all together, and I'm like, do I really need all of those on 4K? Maybe not. I don't know.
Okay. So you have them now. By you having them, does that mean you're a fan of the franchise, or are you just sort of a completionist?
A little bit of both. I'm a huge fan of the original, and I'm going to ask Haley about that in a minute. I'm a huge fan of the original. Jaws 2 is good, but I haven't seen that probably in 20-something years, maybe. But Jaws 2 is good. 3 and 4 are pretty terrible. 4 is 4, I don't even know if that's a movie.
I don't even know if that's a movie.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
what? So Haley, what didn't you like about the original?
Okay, it was some years ago, and I remember I didn't like it because I thought it was slow. Like there was just too much talking. Like from what I remembered it as, it
Okay.
was just too much talking, not enough doing. I'm like,
Not
why do
enough
I?
attacking.
Yeah, like I'm here for a shark. Where's the shark?
Yeah.
And
Understood.
so I was just like, why do I care about 3 people on a boat? But
So
then, with the older me revisiting the movie, not teenage me, I'm like, "Oh, I care now. I can see why I should care."
Yep.
yes, that's where I was going. I was like, when you said some years ago, how old were you?
I was probably I say some years ago, but I was probably like 15.
Yeah, still
But
15.
yeah,
That's sort
and
of a
I'm about to be 22, so
Okay.
yeah.
Believe it or not, there's a lot of change that happens between 15 and 22. So
yeah, that's what like now I'm like looking through my letterbox. After that, like I had such a polarizing shift. It makes me go,
what
what
else?
else? What else?
it's funny, movies that you didn't care for back then, or movies you might love now, and movies you loved back then, you might watch and go, "Oh, this is stupid."
Yep.
And
Yep.
it's just part of getting older, getting more mature.
Yep.
Living life, like how you view movies through a different lens, the life
Yeah,
you live.
yeah.
And see, I had always pretty much, I can't remember not liking Jaws. I had always watched it with my dad would always pull it up on TV because he loves that stuff. So I feel like I watched it with him for the first time. And I think just from that point on, I've only ever become a bigger fan of it. Now, watching Jaws 2 last night, again, without going into too much detail, we'll save some of that. But something that completely blew my mind was how the first half, at least it feels like the first half of that movie, there's very little shark.
Mhm.
And it's mostly just Brody trying to figure out if he's going
Yeah,
insane.
everybody's just gaslighting him.
He's getting gaslit. He's trying to convince the town. It's like I feel like there's another shark here. Like I was really surprised how little shark there is in that movie because when I think of Jaws 2, I think of the kids on the boats and the shark attacks. And that's only like in the second half of the movie. The first half is just Brody trying to figure out what's going on. And that part I really like. That's what I like about Jaws 2. The second half, the kids on the boats.
I remember when I was watching the first Jaws, and I'm like, I'm sitting here for 2 hours, and you're telling me I only have like 3 minutes of shark time in a whole 2-hour long movie.
Yeah.
But now it's like, oh no, we fixed the animatronic robot, whatever.
Yeah.
Here's your shark.
Now, you bring that up, and I bring it to the Godzilla 2014, I think.
The one with Cranston.
Yeah, and that is the reason I hated that movie. There's 2 hours and change of that movie, and Godzilla was barely in the movie. Are you guys kidding me?
Yep.
And
I love me some Godzilla.
Yeah.
I love Godzilla too, but to me that was not a Godzilla movie. That was an Aaron Taylor Johnson movie. That was that's what that was.
I guess circling back to Criterion, my like holy grail is to get the Godzilla set with like the super neon colors.
Uh-huh.
God, I would love to have that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I know that's like a pretty penny to shell out, but
it is.
Because even on sale right now, what is it going for? Like 150?
100 and change, like 110, something like that.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know about that. We have a book off here. I don't know if that's just a Cali thing.
While you go through the chat, I'll be right back.
Yeah, no, you're good. Book off.
I think we looked that up. It was just a Cali thing.
I feel like that is, just like we definitely don't have it in Georgia. That's
no,
for sure.
I remember looking that up. It was when I looked up all the Second and Charles, and I was like, then like book off.
Okay. Yeah, book off.
And then I think there's one in New York.
Okay. Book off?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, definitely when we're over in California in October, if that's something that's close by, I would love to figure out if we can maybe hit it up. Have you been to a book off at all, Dell?
No, I don't even know what that is.
Know what that is? It sounds like it might be a Second and Charles or what you were talking about, your kind of store. Similar vibes. Hey, look what he pulled. He had to do it. He had to do it.
I had to do it.
Oh my god. Look at her. She's beautiful.
She is beautiful. I will say that.
Oh my god.
How many films is it? Like 14 or something?
15. I think it's 15.
Yeah.
And the way they set it up, it's the way they sit inside the packaging here. I don't know if you can tell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Matter of fact, if you go full screen, if you don't mind, for a minute.
Yeah. Let me take Nadia's off there, and boom.
Yeah, you see how they sit down inside there.
Beautiful.
And then there's all sorts of articles about every movie. It goes back. It's pretty thick book.
The Terror of Megalodon.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, you want to say it again?
I thought it was the Megalodon, but then I realized that's like the
Mechagodzilla.
shark. It's the shark.
Beautiful. But the weird thing is that Criterion does not list each individual movie as its own number. It's like the set in itself is a number.
Well, yeah, because most of these you can't get individually, so that's why they do that. There is the original Godzilla does have a spine number by itself.
It does.
Yeah. And I think that is just that one, and then the set.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
What's if you were like the CEO or whoever's in charge of Criterion, what's one movie that's not in the collection that you're immediately putting in?
Wow. That could be a lot of movies.
Yeah.
I tell you what, there's a movie that I would put in. I think there should be more animation in Criterion. And there's a movie called Marion Max. Have you ever heard of Marion Max?
Maybe.
It's stop motion, right?
Yeah, stop motion animation. This movie, I think it's Australian. And a lot of people have called it one of the best movies ever about dealing with autism, about people with autism, not necessarily dealing with it. And in the way the story is, we had a young girl who lives in Australia, and she's like 8 years old, and her class is doing one of those. You guys might be too young to remember things like this, but they were doing pen pals, so they had to pick someone somewhere else and become a pen pal with someone. So she doesn't really know anybody. She's kind of introverted. She goes into the phone book, and she goes into the New York City. Somehow she gets a hold of the New York City phone book, and she comes across a name, picks it, and just writes a letter to this guy. Well, her name is Mary. It's Max, of course. Max is an adult man living in New York, and he is pretty severely autistic, but he's living by himself. So he is self-sufficient, but he's definitely on the spectrum. And the two of them form a relationship. And we basically watch them over the next 20-ish years, their relationship, their corresponding back and forth, and what happens if they are ever going to be able to meet. And for me, I think it's just a brilliant film, and one that would fit what Criterion does to a T.
So it's this one right here.
Yes, that is the one.
Toni Collette.
You got Philip Seymour Hoffman in there. Dang.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Sometimes perfect strangers make the best friends.
Aw.
Huh. Is this streaming anywhere? Because maybe this could be the movie tonight.
It might be. I'm not sure.
Let's go back. Hold on. Back. Streaming anywhere? It's not streaming anywhere. Oh, there you go. Tubi. Cool.
Of course, Tubi always comes through, right?
Yeah.
For real.
That's what Dell. That's our movie tonight. So thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
Cool. Let me know how you like it.
So we're kind of doing a movie swap,
in a way. There you go.
But I wasn't intending to do that. I was just kind of curious, like a movie you would throw in there.
Yeah.
But,
do you guys have one?
Oh, I mean, I would put my favorite movie of all time in there. Spike Jonze's Her with Joaquin Phoenix.
It's a good movie. Yeah.
I think that could heavily benefit. But of course, I'm still waiting for Eyes Wide Shut to to end up in the Criterion Collection. I mean, you got what, 3 or 4 Kubricks already in there, so come on, let's just
get them all in there, right?
Seal the deal.
Let's put Eyes Wide Shut in there. Why don't we?
I need to rewatch Eyes Wide Shut. I watched it so long ago, and I remember kind of not liking it, but I also kind of thought it was weird and not really getting into the story. So I need to revisit it myself.
Yep. Yeah. And you would put in.
That's a good question.
Would you put in a Burton?
But
or you don't feel like he's
not in the collection, is he?
No.
I don't really think he has representation in the collection.
No, but like I wouldn't know
what one to pick.
What, like, to really fit snug into the collection.
Maybe Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood.
Yeah. See? Great minds.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Throw in Ed Wood.
Yeah.
If not, then Edward Scissorhands. Those will be the most.
Oh.
There you go.
Yes. Wow. Okay. I was thinking of animation because I'm like, yes, animation does need more representation.
That's true.
Yeah. But you wouldn't feel comfortable putting Corpse Bride in there? That's a little too weird.
It's a little too nichey. But Edward Scissorhands, that seems like a good snug fit.
Yep. Eddie said, I just looked it up. There's a second in Charles, only 6 hours away from there.
Only?
There's really not one closer in Texas. Like, Texas is so huge. I would think there'd be like 5 or 6 of those things. I mean, dude, if you ever get to one, I think you'll like it. But that 6-hour drive, I wouldn't do it.
Pretty strong, yeah.
Yeah. Caveman. Hello, Caveman.
What's up, Caveman?
There's 3. Wow. Hey, DELL FOS. I highly recommend everyone needs a little DELL in your life. Plus, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, so make sure to sub to both these cool cats and kitten. Hey, appreciate that.
Thank you, Caveman.
Is it really Teacher Appreciation Week?
No. Teacher Appreciation Week was about 2 months ago.
Okay. All right.
At least in my neck of the woods. But I'll always take teacher appreciation.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Wow.
You're a teacher? Am I slow?
Yeah, I am a teacher.
Oh, wait, of what?
I teach 3rd grade.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's sweet.
I learn something from them every day.
Right.
Right. Karloff is in the Howard Hawks version. Okay. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Went to 2 Barnes and Nobles today, and they both shrunk their Criterions. Yep. That is the so 2023 is looking like. Hello, everyone in the chat. Cool. Caveman saying hey. Okay, here we go. Jaws 4 was a made-for-TV movie, wasn't it? Or am I remembering it wrong?
I'm pretty sure it was in the theaters.
Yeah, I think it was theatrical. It just feels like it's a TV movie. That's the thing. Yes. It's so cheap.
Did you ever hear the Michael Caine line about, was it Jaws 4? He was in Jaws 4, right?
He's in it, yeah.
Yeah, do you ever hear his line about it?
He never saw it, but he's seen the house it bought or something.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. He's never seen it, but he saw the house it bought. So yep. Because he was like the other famous story with him is he was filming it, right? But wasn't he nominated for an Academy Award or something?
Probably.
And he was missing the Oscars because he was filming Jaws: The Revenge.
Yeah, wow.
I think that's a thing.
I would never be able to live that down.
And then Lorraine Gary, Ellen, the wife, she came back in that one. So she comes back, but she came out of retirement to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was already retired at that point, and they figured out a way to force her out of retirement to do it. And
when the money's good, the money's good.
Man, I don't know. Like, is that where all the money went? Because it wasn't like that shark is God. And I thought I was gonna really think the shark in Jaws 2 was okay looking, but I think because they burn it on the one side, they like fry it.
Right.
I just think it like cheapened it up really bad. Do you agree?
No, I agree. Especially when they did the zoom ins, I'm like,
yeah.
ew.
I was like, nothing can top that first one. Like that first shark.
Less is more.
And that one didn't even work well. So
it didn't work well, but when it did work, when it was on screen, it just looked mammoth. It looked huge. And he's like breaking into the cage that Hooper's in when he's like going under. He looks massive. The Jaws 2 shark, it looks so I don't like it. I don't like it. But I am excited to have the Steelbook because I like that different point of view
Right.
from the regular poster. I think that was pretty clever. Whoever came up with that.
Yeah,
Any other shark movies you guys like?
seen any other
I
shark
think Deep
movies.
Blue Sea is definitely the next best.
Finding Nemo is pretty scary.
Yeah, Finding Nemo. Open Water. Have you seen Open
Shark
Water?
Tale, if you're gonna go that way. Yeah.
Oh, Shark Tale.
Shark Tale. Yep,
Tale.
the car wash song. Oh, and then speaking of that, how funny! Make sure to Will Smith punch that like button.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, like what? They don't have a slap emoji. That sucks.
Yeah.
Slap emoji.
That's brutal.
Yeah, Shark Tale is actually pretty fun. That's a good one.
Shark Tale scares me.
What about
I try to block it from my brain.
Have you seen Open Water?
Yeah, I have seen Open Water.
That's a good one.
It was okay. I wasn't a big fan of that. I was also like her with Jaws. I was like, okay, when are we getting to sharks? When is this happening?
Yep.
Yeah. Had either of you seen 47 Meters Down?
She wants to. I have.
I like the first one. The second one, I liked ironically because it was just that bad.
Ironically. Yeah,
it's almost so bad that
all of these movies spawn franchises, which I don't understand. Even
Right.
Open Water. I think there's like 2 or 3 Open Water directed.
I think
DVD.
it's 3 of them. We love sharks.
There's like 5 Deep Blue Seas.
Sharknado. Sharknado.
I've never seen Sharknado or any of them.
But those movies are like, they know what they are.
Yeah.
Like they're self-aware.
Yeah.
But the Meg, you guys fans of the Meg?
I would like to see that one just because I do like Jason Statham, and I'm kind of curious to see. See, my thing is, and it's the thing that everyone talks about is I can't get behind CGI sharks yet. I still can't. I'm so emotionally attached to
robot shark.
The robotic sharks. Like I just love that form of a shark. You know, when I see a CGI shark, it moves too fast. It's they just haven't figured it out yet for some reason. Even The Shallows, you know, when I watch The Shallows.
The trailer for the Meg 2, that thing is about as big as the Empire State Building too.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like maybe that one I'll be okay because I'm just suspending my disbelief of the size of the thing. Yeah, what I was gonna say is you made a bunch of Deep Blue Seas and you didn't bring back LL Cool J. He was like one of the best parts of that first movie. He lives at the end, and the sequels don't bring him back, right?
I think those were all straight to DVD or something, weren't they?
So they probably can't afford them.
Probably not. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think they were.
God. And then of course it's the other guy, the guy that played the Punisher. Thomas Jane. Yeah. I was shown Jaws at a very young age. It's always been part of my life. There you go.
I was too. I saw it. Me, KB, and I are about the same age, so okay. I actually saw it in theaters when I was 4 or 5 years old, and literally scarred me for life.
It's the fact that it's PG.
Yeah,
that's like wacky. Like they're even saying like, I know they were throwing a few shits and dams in the second one. It's still PG.
It's still PG. In the 70s and 80s were wild as far as ratings were concerned.
It was the wild, wild west.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot more in PG back then too.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Matt Walls, hello, Matt. What's going on, dude?
Oh, Matt.
Everybody's saying hey to Matt. Matt says I'm still waiting for a Criterion to do I don't know how to say that.
Heisei?
Era Godzilla collection. So that collection you have is not even the complete Godzillas. There's more Godzillas.
No, there's more Godzillas. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
So much big lizard.
And to think the only one I've ever seen is the Roland Emmerich one. That's the only Godzilla I've ever seen in my life.
Yep. You saw the wrong one, man.
You saw the wrong answer.
That's like similar to your Jaws situation. I'd have to go back and see if it holds up, but I remember being a kid and that was like, you know,
Yeah,
was it.
if you were young when you saw it, that it makes sense that you would like it because it
Yeah.
is that kind of movie. Yes.
Yep. But now I feel like if I were to watch it today, I would probably have some real issues with it. But I did pick up the one you're talking about, Dell, the Elizabeth Olsen one. I found that at Big Lots not that long ago, and I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I think it's time. I think it's time to check this one out.
Yeah, I've seen that one in Big Lots. Yeah, it might be where I got mine. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it was like $1. I was like,
Something
Godzilla
like that. Yeah.
2014. Let's go.
Mhm.
I saw the one with Millie Bobby Brown in theaters.
Millie Bobby Brown is in a
The
Godzilla movie?
King of the Monsters. That one.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
yes.
Now, how was your theater experience with that? Because mine, I wanted to like it. It was all kinds of big monster action, but it was filmed so dark that I couldn't see anything that was happening. Was I alone?
I feel like ours. I mean, my theater was very quiet. Like nobody was hemming and hawing over Big Monster.
Right.
But I remember it was just. Yeah, I remember it being dark. I remember it being dark.
Yeah, it looked like two shadow puppets were fighting in the distance.
I guess I'm Team Kong because I saw Skull Island, the one that's in that universe. I saw that one in theaters. I would like to see Kong versus Godzilla or Godzilla versus Kong, whatever it's called.
I prefer lizard over monkey.
You prefer Godzilla? Are you Team Godzilla?
I'm Team Kong, actually.
Oh, Team Kong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like, out of that franchise, Skull Island is probably my favorite one.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I saw that in IMAX, so I think that's a good movie too.
I didn't get to see it in IMAX.
That's a movie to see in IMAX for sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of Samuel L. Jackson from Deep Blue Sea, he's in that one, right?
Yes, he is. He's the guy that thinks he's going to stand up to Kong.
Yep.
But in a fight, I believe Godzilla will win.
Well,
nuclear lizard monster.
They had to make Kong bigger in these ones, right? Because he's kind of not big at all. Like if you're going off the Peter Jackson version, like he would have gotten crushed by Godzilla.
Literally, like Godzilla would have been like,
yeah. So they had to make him like 10 times bigger.
Even in Skull Island, he's actually small. And you can go on YouTube and find, and there's all sorts of videos about how he's gotten bigger. And the reasoning from Skull Island was that he was still a baby in that movie.
Oh, wow. Wow, he was a baby in that one?
Yeah, that's supposedly, yes. That's they do say it in the movie. It's like, yeah, he's just a baby. He's supposed to be like 2 years old, 3 years old, something like that.
Yeah. Now, see, that's so speaking of like CGI sharks and stuff that like doesn't hold up, like that was CGI. That was CGI that I actually was like, okay, I can get behind this one. There's that scene where I think Tom Hiddleston's like in the water with him and he's like fighting this giant looking thing. I was like, this is good CGI.
The squid or the octopus, was that?
Yeah. I was like, this is cool. I buy this. Like this looks real.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they can't do that with sharks yet. I don't know what it is about a shark.
The water.
You can't. Is it the water? I guess it's. But that water, the water that Kong was in was looking good.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
A lot of CGI, like even with the animated movies, even though the water itself looks good usually. So I don't know. At least the surface of the water. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean the water in Avatar 2 looked, and in Avatar here we an area of contention for many people,
me included. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, but you can't deny that the water looked amazing in Avatar: The Way of Water.
Yeah. I mean, they're great looking movies. I just the story is just terrible to me. I
don't care about the blue people.
Stretched out for way too long.
Did you pick up anything when it hit physical?
No, I actually had the first one on. I have the first one on Blu-ray, and the only reason that is my wife's she's a fan of it, and I found it cheap one day. So I guess I'll grab Avatar. So it'll be the same for this one. One day, years from now, probably I'll find it cheap somewhere.
Get the whole collection because at that point it's gonna look like that Godzilla box set you had there.
True. Well, maybe because he's making like one a decade, so who knows?
Yep.
We'll have the full collection by the year 3000.
Yeah, exactly. James Cameron will have been cryogenically frozen and brought back to film one every so often.
No,
I love that. That sounds amazing.
No,
that That sounds
It's like
amazing.
you're poking him every 10 years. Come on, Cameron, get up. Movie time.
So I love this, right? Caveman. Book Off has 7 locations, 5 in Southern California, 1 in New York, and 1 in Hawaii.
Wow.
There's 1 in Hawaii.
All right, I know where we're going.
That's amazing. Now, I wonder, can you imagine living in Alaska?
No. No.
Don't want
Do
to.
they have anything?
There are things out there. So before I was a teacher, I used to do sales over the phone for Tiger Direct. I don't know if you remember Tiger Direct.
Tiger Direct? Is that like what is that?
They're mainly computers and basically electronics. They're almost like Best Buy or more like Radio Shack even. But I used to do business to business sales for them over the phone. And couple of my clients actually was school districts in Alaska. And it was hard to sell to them because one school district would be a normal size school. And then you'd call somebody on the phone. And one of the questions you have to ask, because you want to know how many you can sell, is, hey, well, how many students are in your school or your district? What's the population there? So, we can figure out what we need to do. And one day that answer was 7. 7 kids in the school? Yeah, 7 kids in the school. And I was like, well, immediately I got curious. Well, how does that work? She's like, yeah, well, they come in, they all live really close. They come in the morning, and then at lunchtime they go home, they have lunch, and they come back for the afternoon. I was like, okay. I don't know if I could come back in the afternoon after lunch, but okay.
Good Lord.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about living in Alaska.
They have snow and fish.
I'll tell you, Insomnia didn't sell it to me, like that movie
nor
Insomnia.
did 30 Days of Night.
No. Does Fargo takes place in Alaska, right? Is that Alaska?
No, that's Fargo, Minnesota.
Minnesota, okay.
I think it's Minnesota.
Yeah. I don't know. Insomnia though. Oh man. Talk about a great movie. And that's already in the collection, the original. I would love to see put the Christopher Nolan version in there. Speaking of a movie that should be in the Criterion. Eyes Wide Shut was a wild movie. It was. That's for sure. Oh yeah, see, I thought Donna was a little sus.
Yeah, long time no see.
Yeah, that's pretty wild because we haven't had a troll in here in a while, so that's pretty cool.
What are we just saying that like yesterday?
Mid-level media stopping by.
What's up, Ken?
What's going on? Dell is the man, says Mid-level media.
Thank you, Ken. Fargo's in North Dakota. Sorry.
Oh, so even less of nothing. Got it.
So yeah, I'm sure Donna was taken care of. We won't even bring it up on the screen, but that Donna person that we were talking to earlier, I immediately my red flag went off.
Yeah, face blue, smiling.
Oh, Sweeney Todd, you would throw in there.
Ooh.
Sweeney Todd, yeah,
that's a good movie. Yeah, might be a little weird for Criterion.
I was gonna say, are there any musicals in the Criterion collection?
Of course, yeah. All that jazz is in there.
Oh, you're right.
Then again, I say weird, but then movies like Salo in there, so who knows?
There's weird, and then there's really.
Agreed.
Sorry, I was watching yesterday's The View earlier today. It must have been a rerun because they were promoting Fast X and Air. So I'm sorry. At least my heart was in the right place. I am a caveman after all. It's amazing you have internet, caveman. That's all I'm saying.
That's crazy. What's that like?
It's amazing that you have that. I might be the only fan of Meg. I'm so excited for the sequel.
I'm curious because I'm one of those people who watch the Fast and Furious movies just to see how stupid they get. And I enjoy them for that. And with the Meg, you guys seen the trailer for the second one?
No, I haven't seen anything for the second one.
Like I said, this thing is the size of a skyscraper, and there's a scene where it comes up out of the water, and it's like got its mouth open, it's coming down on Jason Statham, and he just kind of stops it with his legs. He's got one on his upper jaw, one on his bottom. Like, yeah, okay.
That guy can't catch a break.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me this thing's the size of a skyscraper and he's stopping it
with his thighs?
With his thigh strength. He just kind of puts his feet up on the thing's mouth. He's got like one on the top, one on the bottom. Yeah, it's going to be that kind of movie.
The mathematics aren't it's adding up to me here. It's the size of a
No.
skyscraper, and he's stopping it. He's
He?
Him,
I
yeah,
don't get it.
yeah.
All right. I don't know. Maybe I'll skip because I take that back. The only thing we've seen of the Meg is we have at our theater we have those like digital posters, so like
Yeah.
posters that move.
Oh yeah.
We've seen like the poster of the little dog, and then like
yeah, the giant.
it's
shark.
like it's slowly pulling out, and then all of a sudden you see the giant mouth coming over near the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And I'm
check out the trailer. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Oh, I don't know. Hey, Laren wants to know what's your favorite John Carpenter.
There are wrong answers.
The Thing. That's my favorite John Carpenter.
The Thing.
Pick the right answer.
Thank you. I appreciate
The
that.
Thing. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Have you seen any of the other ones? Like,
Is there anyone you're missing? Is there a John Carpenter blind spot?
I'm sure there is. Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Village of the Damned.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
I've seen Halloween, of course, and all the Halloween movies that he did. I think was the first two. Is that right?
Directed the first one, and then I think he wrote the second one.
Wrote the second one.
Yeah.
Assault on Precinct 13. I saw that one. That's
Yep.
pretty good. And I probably got a lot of blind spots for him. I've probably got to see a lot of movies.
Have you seen my favorite, Christine?
Yes.
Okay.
Was that him or that? Okay. For some reason, I thought that was Toby Hooper.
No,
But
that was Carpenter. Yeah.
Yes, I have Christine. I have seen Christine. I like that movie. Good movie.
That's a good one. And your favorite is
They
Live.
They Live. I've seen parts of They Live. I've not seen the whole thing.
And nobody's seen his last movie, The Ward, with get ready, Amber Heard.
Really?
Yep.
When did this happen?
I think it's 2010.
Oh,
He made that, and Amber Heard's the star. She's like in a psychiatric ward.
Oh,
Fitting, right?
That sucks.
So that hasn't aged well.
No.
Two great criterions would be Tom Cruise's Last Samurai and Memoirs of a Geisha.
Memoirs of a Geisha would be good one.
The last Samurai.
Hold on. You said you like Memoirs of a Geisha?
I do like Memoirs of a Geisha. I don't love it, but I do like it. Yeah.
And what did you say about Last Samurai?
I really liked it.
Oh, you like Last Samurai?
I haven't seen Last Samurai. Not all of it anyway.
It's
Are you saying that because it's Tom Cruise? You're like, ew, I like a Tom Cruise movie.
well, I don't know, just like the thought of it was like, we're doing Tom Cruise in a samurai movie.
Yeah.
Was sort of like head scratch, a little nauseous. And then I watch it and I'm like, oh no,
he sold
I
me.
like
He sold
it.
me.
Like it did not have the setup for being a good movie, and then it delivered.
Well, it has what's his
Sound
name?
like it.
Ken Watanabe.
I think it's
Watanabe?
Watanabe. I think
Watanabe. I know he's in that movie. So
he's in for a time, especially the 80s and the 90s. Whenever Hollywood needed a Japanese guy, they went to him.
Yeah. Yep. What's up, guys? Better late than never. Hey, movie collector.
What's going on, man?
Does Dell remember the film does Dell remember the film movie he saw in theaters? Laren, are you okay?
Do you mean first movie, Laren? Is that what you mean?
Maybe.
What film movie?
Does Dell remember the film movie he saw in theaters?
I've seen a lot of film movies.
Yeah, I've seen quite a few.
Yeah, probably the first movie.
If it's the first one that I can remember seeing is actually Enter the Dragon.
Oh wow.
So many years ago, and just started my love of Bruce Lee from there.
Yep.
I have yet to see a Bruce Lee movie.
Oh.
Is that a good jumping off point, or is that sort of like don't start with his like magnum opus kind of thing?
It might be his most accessible one because it's the most American like movie. It's actually I think it's American/British or Chinese/British production, I think. Okay. But yeah, that's probably the most accessible one to watch. Yeah.
Okay. Chat room, what do you think? What's the like is Enter the Dragon a good jumping off point, or is that like save his, because that's like his
magnum opus. That is his magnum opus, at least as far as I'm concerned. But like it's also the only one that was an American production of the 5 main movies that he made.
Okay.
The others were all Asian movies. They're all good. But if you're not into martial arts and not into Asian cinema, though Enter the Dragon might be a good place to start and then work your way back, because then you have familiarity with him.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I picked up I was tempted because I do want to see these, the Police Story 1 and 2 on the Criterion. Some Jackie Chan, because I've only ever seen Americanized Jackie Chan. You know, I've only ever seen Rush Hour, Tuxedo,
Right.
Around the World in 80 Days, stuff like that. I want to kind of see him back in China. You know,
Yeah.
like I want to see him doing that.
Did you just pick them up, or you've had a chance to watch them?
No, I didn't pick it up. I was. I'll probably end up picking up that set because I do want it, but I didn't pick it up yet.
They're lots and lots of fun.
They're fun.
Yeah, they're lots of fun.
I love it, like the practical stunt work.
Yeah, Jackie Chan was Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise. He did all his own stunts, and if any of them you watch, especially I would say from the 80s forward, especially, and I that includes Police Story. Definitely watch the closing credits, because they'll show you some of his attempts at those stunts that didn't make it in the movie, and sometimes there's real physical harm he's causing himself in some of those.
Yeah,
it's been said he's like almost died several times on movie sets, and he's broken just about everything in his body, but he keeps going out there.
Who suffered more, Jackie Chan, Johnny Knoxville?
Two totally different stunt people.
Definitely different. Different.
No, I would actually say that because I know you said how it's Jackie Chan was Tom Cruise before Tom Cruise was Tom Cruise. I would actually put them in two totally different leagues. I would still say whatever Tom Cruise is doing, yes, it's crazy. Yeah, he's jumping off bridges and stuff, but there's still like I don't know. There's, because it was so much earlier in the, in 70s, 80s, all that stuff. I feel like there was just more of a danger factor when it came to what Jackie Chan was doing. I feel
regulations?
like maybe regulations. I feel like what Tom Cruise does now is just, it's heavily perfected for,
and on top of that, with Jackie Chan, most of those movies from back then are Chinese productions, and their standards on stunts are a lot more lax than American standards even back then. So definitely more dangerous in that sense. But I'm not going to take anything away from Tom Cruise because he's insane.
Well, Tom Cruise also, speaking of, I literally just saw a statement that he made was he hopes to do Mission Impossible movies until he's like 80.
Harrison Ford's age.
Yeah, until he literally he said he wants to be like Harrison Ford.
Oh,
I have a standing thought in my head that Tom Cruise is purposely just trying to die on film.
I don't think he can die. I feel like there's something in that Scientology of his that prevents him from dying.
Well, first of all,
he dies, I eat my hat.
Well, hold on. First of all, because I know we're specifically talking about how this new Mission Impossible has the jump off the bridge, which is being touted as the biggest stunt in cinematic history. And I'm thinking to myself, didn't you hang off of a skyscraper or something?
Hang off a skyscraper, hang off a plane.
I feel like those are bigger in a way.
Because he's 60?
I don't know that just jumping off a ramp and parachuting. I feel like Vin Diesel did that in XXX or something.
Well, we'll have to see. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'll hold off until I get to the theater and see what happens.
Isn't that how XXX opened with Vin Diesel? He drives a car off a highway and he's parachuting down. Yeah. It's obviously not Vin Diesel, but it's his stunt double. I feel like it's been done before. I don't know why Tom Cruise is getting
I said, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he passes through a volcano, through the ocean, and back out. Who knows? I don't know.
He's got to do something more than just jumping off the cliff, because that's not the biggest stunt in cinematic history. I'm sorry.
No,
it's just not.
The pit of sharks with lasers.
Lasers attached to their head. I saw Godzilla King of the Monsters. I found out almost every person but me snuck food into that theater.
You don't?
Yeah, you don't?
Yeah,
really? Yeah, that's a standing practice at my house.
Yeah, of course.
I always bring my bag. I have a mini backpack that I use as a purse. And so, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's still a purse. It just carries the essentials, that being Sour Patch Kids and maybe some chocolate.
Yeah.
The only thing I get at the theaters is a drink.
Yeah. Dell, what's your favorite Universal monster film? Says movie collector.
Bride of Frankenstein.
Really?
Cool.
Yeah.
You don't hear that one too often.
No, you don't.
No, I think you should. It's great. It's a great movie, and I really like Frankenstein. I like Dracula. I like the Wolfman. Not so big on the Invisible Man. But
Controversial.
Okay, I'll come back to that. But yeah, Bride of Frankenstein I think is just better than the first Frankenstein in just about every way. It's, more emotional, much better story. So I really do like that one.
Do you like Frankenstein meets the Wolfman? Have you seen that one?
I've seen it, but I was probably a kid when I saw it last. So I couldn't tell you if I like it now or not. I have no idea.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So
wow,
you're an Invisible Man fan, the original Invisible Man.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I like them all in different ways, but I really, especially since we just rewatched it not too long ago, I just really love Claude Rains.
Yeah, it's more so Claude Rains.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, he's great in the movie. I didn't like the tone kind of jumped all over the place for me. It felt more like comedy than what I was looking for.
Yeah.
So maybe a rewatch might be better. And I just watched it for the first time, I think last year, maybe the year before. But the remake of The Invisible Man is fantastic.
Oh yeah. With I always forget Elizabeth
Mold.
Mold.
Oh, sorry, Moss.
Moss, yeah, Elizabeth Moss.
Mold. Yeah, that's a completely. I just feel like the only thing in common really is its namesake.
True,
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
A closer adaptation to The Invisible Man, 1933, is Hollow Man with Kevin Bacon.
Yes, it's been a while since I've seen that one too, but yeah, that was a fun movie.
That was, yeah. What else do we got here? Godzilla's short arms wouldn't matter against the Peter Jackson King Kong. He would just crush his head. Kids in the Hall reference.
I remember Kids in the
like
Hall.
that.
Fargo's in North Dakota. Yeah. Fargo is in North Dakota, but to give Dell credit, the movie takes place mostly in Minnesota.
Okay, I knew it was something with Minnesota.
Okay. Just bought Halloween Ends on Steelbook. Any fans of that movie? I dug it.
I don't hate it.
I dug it. Yeah.
I don't hate it.
I don't like that movie.
You don't like it?
I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
We aren't that attached to Halloween.
I was gonna say I'm not emotionally attached to the franchise, so maybe that's why I liked it. I was even on Luke Ponto's channel. He did a stream, a watch along, and he was like, "Do you want to come on for Halloween Ends?" And I was like, "Absolutely," because I have a feeling you're gonna have a hard time getting guests for that one. So I'll come on for that one.
Yeah, I didn't care for that one. I really liked one I like more than everybody else, or at least I think, is Halloween Kills. I really like that one.
Halloween Kills is good. Yeah. Surprisingly enough, I don't really care for that 2018 one, which is the one that most people are like, "Oh, that's the best one of the trilogy."
Yeah.
I do like Kills quite a bit, and I dig Halloween Ends. So
yeah, I like 18 and Kills, and don't care for Ends.
Yep. Ed is what? Ed is what?
A fan.
A fan.
Any fans of that movie? Ed is.
Ed is. And here's Felix. Hello,
Just
Felix.
woke up from his nap.
Welcome, buddy. Are you a pet person, Del?
Not really.
No.
And yeah, just not really. I don't have anything against animals. I'm just not a pet guy.
Okay. Whew. He doesn't have anything against you.
Actually, I prefer cats to dogs. So that's a.
Woo.
There you go.
Have you seen Carpenter's The Fog, Del?
When I was probably 10 or 11, it's been that long. So I definitely need to watch it again.
How do you make a ghost pirate movie boring? That's what I can't.
So you're not a fan, I see.
No.
If you think that's bad, then you should watch the remake. That one got ripped a new butthole.
Not ripped a new butthole.
That has like a 5% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's
crazy.
Remake.
Oh, wow. I didn't watch that one at all.
Yeah. I got to run. Haley and Ed, take care. Dell, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Good luck. That sounds like a threat.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening, but I'll take it.
What is it, The Purge?
The odds be ever in your favor.
This caveman hates Tom Cruise, but loves The Last Samurai.
That's crazy.
Interesting.
Police Story 3, Super Cop is my fave, but they're all good. So that set only has 1 and 2.
That set has 1 and 2, and somebody just a few months ago did a 4K set, I think, that has 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
And Police Part 3, Super Cop, has Michelle Yeoh in it also.
From Everything Everywhere All at Once?
Yes.
Okay. Heck yeah. Something that may help you have a greater appreciation for Bruce Lee films you watch later may be Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. It's educational and somewhat enjoyable. Thoughts, Dell?
I did like Dragon. I don't know how educational it is though, because they take a lot of leaps. They deal with with a lot of supernatural aspects because they're feeding into the curse of the Lee family kind of deal. If you're aware of The Crow, his son Brandon was killed on the set of making that movie. So then after that, everybody's like, "Oh, the movie, the Lee family's cursed, or it's the curse of Bruce Lee." So they kind of lean heavily into that. And so I don't know how educational it is, but it's definitely enjoyable. I really did like that movie though.
Cool.
Hey,
Saying hey to Felix. Yep, good old Felix. Sending in the cat. Is that a cat emoji?
Yeah,
It looks like a wolf.
Streamer's weird with their emojis.
Yeah,
We
they're
think
weird with the
fireworks are
emojis.
gears. And...
This is true. Yeah, this is true. All right, so cool. We're caught up on the chat, which is we like to kind of use that as an indicator on if we're caught up on the chat, I guess we're caught up on everybody's thoughts and opinions. So yeah, tonight's episode was going to be a little shorter than like we're at an hour and 15. We like to kind of keep it around the 1 hour 1:30 mark.
well, no.
Don't do it, Matt. Don't do it, Matt. Okay, so Dell, what do those look like to you?
Those, well, hold on. Let me go full screen on my end so I can actually see.
What does that look like to you?
Nothing.
Yeah, I don't.
But if it had to look like something,
I want to say they're shaped like snowflakes, but they're obviously not.
Snowflakes, that's a first. See, to me, they look like gears. Like in a factory, like a gear moving. Right?
Yes.
Apparently, they're fireworks. Apparently, those are fireworks.
How?
That's what I'm saying.
I'd go with gears over fireworks for sure.
Or like a Ferris wheel.
Yeah. Anything but fireworks.
Now that I know what that is. That's just him laughing. But those apparently, according to StreamYard, are fireworks. And someone sent that in. What that was, Kevin or Nadia?
Yeah.
And I had no clue what that was. And then they told us, oh, like we sent firework emojis. And I'm like, those are fireworks?
Wow.
I did not look like fireworks. Right. How long have you been a teacher, Dell?
I think this is my 8th year, I believe. 7th or 8th year.
And is it coming to a close, or do you not see it ending anytime soon?
We're kind of in limbo on that right now. I don't know how much longer I want to do it because I am, like I said, I'm getting older, and chasing around 8-year-olds is not always the best for my sanity and my health. So we'll see.
That's crazy to think. Like, if a 3rd grader is about like 8 or 9, then your first class is probably on their way to graduating, either already or soon.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Do you have to go through different training, or like I don't know how this works to be a teacher, but like can you move up to like high school level?
Yeah, you can. You can move around, and there's all sorts of training and schooling to do.
Okay, but you don't really want to do high school, or?
No, see, if I teach high school kids, then I'm afraid I'm gonna have to murder someone, or someone's gonna murder me.
No, you're right.
Okay, all right.
Do you have a degree?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You kind of have to, right, to be a teacher, don't you?
Well, I think to be like a kindergarten teacher, like you need more.
I could be a kindergarten teacher, just like go apply right now.
I think you just need like.
You still need a degree.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't undermine kindergarten teachers. Arnold made it look easy, but he was undercover. Yeah. So tonight's movie for us is Mary and Max on Tubi. We'll definitely be reporting back to you on that one.
I'm looking forward to it.
And then I don't know if we said anything to you tonight that you're like, ooh, maybe I should check that out. But
Last Samurai.
Yeah, I'm thinking about The Last Samurai.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'll get to it tonight, but I'm definitely thinking about that one.
I think it's a longer movie. I feel like it's over 2 hours.
I think it is too.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Hey, go back to sleep.
I'm using the laser pointer.
Got it.
He was chewing a wire. He's chewing a wire.
He's trying to electrocute
get his attention there. So
Yeah.
to answer Larry's question, I'm looking at it. I do not have any Funko Pops whatsoever. I do not have one.
That's crazy. Have there been any that you've seen that you go, oh, maybe that's actually kind of cool, or like, oh, that's from something that doesn't really get representation?
I've seen so many because I since I don't really pay that close attention to them, so I see them and I say, oh, that's cool, and then I keep moving and I forget about what I just saw.
They have big Godzilla, like the big.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Do they? I didn't even know.
A big Godzilla.
You're gonna watch Insidious tonight for the first time.
Oh,
What
wow.
did you get that steelbook, Matt? Is that what you're? I know that steelbook just recently came out. Ooh, good movie.
good
The Truman
Truman
Show
Show is fantastic. Yeah.
phenomenal.
Good movie.
Yeah, it wasn't in stores though. I was very upset. I wanted to get the 4K. But I got the DVD. I'm good.
And that has the better poster.
It does have the better poster, I think. All right, so yeah, we're gonna wrap up this episode of Fans of Something Live, number 24. We're gonna make DELL full screen here, and just in case anybody is coming across you for the first time, like I know Movie Collector was, what can they expect to see on DELL on Movies?
On DELL on Movies, you can expect to see lots of movie swaps once a week, almost every week. We're not doing one this week, and possibly next week. That's kind of up in the air, but that's a series where myself and another collector, we swap movies, so to speak. They watch something that they've never seen. I have them watch something they've never seen, and they have me watch something that I've never seen. Then we come together on a live stream and discuss those. In between that, I'll release videos on hauls. I did a Criterion haul video the other day. I'll do lists. I do top 10 lists and sometimes top 25 lists or whatever that strikes my fancy, and make movie recommendations and just generally talk movies. So come hang out.
Go hang out with him. Seriously, go check him out. His link's down below. If you like what you see, subscribe to him. And dude, it was a lot of fun hanging out with you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah, of course. Bye, everyone. It was a great stream. Thank you, Kevin. This was really fun. Great to see DELL here. Thanks to all three of you. See you all soon. Yes. Before we let everybody go, just want to let everyone know our next live show, because I don't know when the next video is coming out, but the next live show is this Saturday at, I think it's 7:30. I'm not sure. I have to check the time. 7:30 or 8.
Schedule. And
everybody knows that we've had a couple of VHS creators on the channel previously because we love those custom VHS tapes. So this coming Saturday, we are doing a VHS creators roundtable. We're hanging out with Modern Home Video, Tyler's Tapes, and Death by VHS.
Nice.
And we're just going to be, kind of picking their brains, kind of just figuring out how they came to the VHS creating scene and all that stuff. And I think it'll be cool to have them all together in kind of one stream, because I know they're all doing their separate thing, but they've all agreed to kind of come together. So that's really cool, yeah. I think, to kind of bring, because rivalry, I don't know that that's a thing, but, they're all doing their separate things. So it'll be cool to have them all together and just kind of, pick their brains about the VHS stuff and see what that's like.
I hope there's no VHS beef.
Well, you know what I mean? Like they're like, because they're all like businesses, I guess, in a way.
Yeah,
like they're all selling their own stuff. So to kind of bring them all together, it's, sort of like, I guess, how if you were to bring like what?
Walmart and Target together.
Target together and like one thing and be like, all right, now be friendly with each other.
Right.
So, but I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. We've had a cool chat going on Instagram. Have a great night as well, Lauren.
Have a good night, Lauren.
And DELL, stick around. We'll do a formal goodbye. But yeah, thank you everybody for checking out episode 24. This was a lot of fun. We'll be back, like I said, Saturday. So Saturday. And look forward to that, and videos, of course, as well. So we'll be back. And until then, there's one thing you have to do, and that is keep being fans of something.